We're up and ready to move. All you need is your stretch band for today. Longer, better if you've got a long one. If you've got a really tense one, kind of for the upper body, it's nice to have one that has a bit more lack of resistance to it, if you want to say it that way. But go ahead and grab that band. Think of drawing the abs in. Have your legs wide enough that you're not going to sort of lose your balance in any way. So I'm at least shoulder width distance, and we're just rocking back and forth just to find that foundation. Don't worry about it being a really high releve. If you feel like getting into the balance, going super high, go right ahead. I'm just going nice and low. And then relax those shoulders. Think of from pubic bone, belly button to rib cage. Give me that nice little zipper. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Leave the feet nice and strong. I think I just lost Trevor. Bring the arms up, open that band, and then bring it all the way to the back. And as you bring it to the back, just turn your wrists. And then bring it all the way the other way. Just come on again, because I lost you. And bring it down. Or come into this little corner between the reformers. Inhale up. Exhale, bring it all the way down and turn. And one more time. All the way up. From here, we're going to roll it down, you guys. Roll down, but put your hands on your quads. Roll it down. Find a rounding in your spine, and then slowly come up. Bring that band up. Stretch it open. Come all the way around, and then back again. Roll it all the way down. Hands on the quads. Roll it down. Find that rounding in the spine. Go as deep as you can, and then roll it back up. One more time. Stretch it out. Bring it down, and then all the way up. Slight zipper. Let's go all the way to the floor, gang. All the way to the floor. If you need to turn your hips out, go ahead. I turned out a little bit. Drop right down. Find that big passive squat. Now, if that's a little tight first thing this morning, go ahead and bring yourself up and move side to side. If you're okay, get right down there. Hands on the floor, and just start that little pivoting of left and right. As you do this, if your knee is going partway to the floor and you can go a little deeper and slow it down and get that knee kind of all the way down, go right ahead. You're going to get more movement to your toes, more movement to knee, hip, ankle, just that little joint movement, right? And then leave the heels down, slowly peel up, pull the band with a bit of resistance. I turned my feet forward again, all the way back, turn the wrists, stay here with your wrists turned out, and just press that and bring it down. Now, as you press, if you're causing yourself to round forward, imagine that brick wall in front of your chest line. So it's really just that shoulder moving in the socket. Right, just that nice extension. Go two more, and go one, and then unfold the wrist, bring it all the way back. Now this time as you bring it up, have a bit of tension, bend your elbows, so it's going close to just behind the head, and then give me a little heart lift. And then as you go to straight, reach it up. So we're going to pull it just behind the head, maybe farther if you've got the range of motion. Lift your heart, bring it back, stretch it up. One more time, bring it just to the headline. Lift the heart, go a little deeper. Bring it back, bring it all the way down. Go into a squat with your hands on your quads. So I'm quite wide in my squat. Yeah, and then we're just going to do angry cat here. So round it up. Here I like to grab behind my legs, tuck a bit, and use that for some traction on that lower back. And then big dip down. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, lower. So go as low as you want on that little squat, you guys. Just go up and down in your squats. So I'm getting a bit deeper each time. And if that means I kind of leave a traditional squat and I go into a round back, that's fine. So I go into my neutral, go as deep as I can, round it, go deeper, come back into neutral, and then up into round. So I'm doing flexion at the top and the bottom. Neutral, and then round, and then neutral, and then round. Find yourself in neutral here, nice strong squat. Take your hands off, shoulders down and away. And from here, get a little tighter on your resistance band and reach it up and down. So hold the squat where you feel comfortable, get a good challenge. So if those legs are a little tired today, you're a little higher. Remember, you're sitting back trying to reach your booty to a chair. Let's go two more and go one. Now go ahead and leave that reaching in front of you to counterbalance your body weight. You can slightly bend the knees, get your shoulders down. Lift your heels, lower your heels, nice and slow. Lift your heels, lower your heels. Go two more, find your balance point, and lower, and one more, little lift, little lower. Bring your hands to the floor, shins or quads if you're a little tight. Stretch those legs out, and go ahead and invert, let your head dangle. So I've gone ahead and straightened my legs fully here. If that's not a doable option, your knees are bent like a rag doll, right? Just take an inhale, exhale, and then bend the knees, drop the tailbone, come all the way up, leave the band in front, and just roll the shoulders. Get that really big roll going, a little sway. I'm kind of bending one leg, bending the other, and shuffling. And then just turn face directly to the front if you want, but have yourself in sits bones. A little bit of tension, tight around my band. Hips stay to you, and I'm going to rotate my ribs away and bring it back. So hold it quite tight. Palms are facing up, and I'm just giving a little pull. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, center. One more time. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, center. This time when you rotate, pull with your backhand. So rotate, take an inhale, stay here. Exhale, pull the backhand and give a little more. Watch your hip doesn't go. And then bring it all the way back to center. Inhale, rotate, stay there. Give me a little more. And bring it back. Beautiful. Take that band up, but quite tight. Feet in tight. And then pull one side of your arm. I'm going to back up so I'm not out of the picture there. Pull with one arm. And then this bottom arm comes in tighter. Lean your hips. Ooh, just got a nice large pop. Reach the arms away. Look to that. So the pinky hand on the top is slicing up. Pinky finger on the bottom is slicing down. I'm going to pull a little bit. Lean my hips in opposition. Give a really big breath here, guys. And then fold that arm forward like you're doing a set of hundreds and you're coming through the center. And then all the way to the top again. Give a little wiggle. Relax your shoulders. Laterally flex. Pull your bottom arm in. Push your top arm out. Pull down on the bottom arm. And then lean your hips in opposition. A couple really big breaths into that side rib cage. One more big breath. And then come out of the stretch a little bit as you fold down. Beautiful. Roll those shoulders. Leave your band just at the very front. Open it up wide enough that it's equal on both sides and that it's at the super front so that when we go to step forward, you've got somewhere to put your foot. Right? We're going to do a little rowing there. Otherwise, we're going to free flow for a little bit here, so just ignore the band. Come around the corner. Bend knees, hips, ankles if you need to. Walk your hands out to 4, 3, knees go down on 2 and 1. Curl those toes. Get that stretch. Sink back into your toes, you guys. So we're doing that nice little sink. I'm just going to must have moved my mat forward. I'm going to move that back a bit because I don't know if you can see my feet. There we go. That's better. So a little press, holding into that. Come forward to 4 point. Let's lift just an inch. Just an inch. Push away with your shoulders. Draw in with your abs. Let's hold for 5. So it's our short plank 1, 4, 3, 2. On the first one, put your knees down, uncurl your toes, reach your hands what feels too far forward, and sink. So I'm going to open up my legs wide and sink. You can go narrow if you want. From here, we're reaching those hands forward, and now I'm just sort of rocking from left to right, getting a little bit of movement through my shoulders. And then drop your tailbone, curl your spine as you come back up. Bring those feet back to parallel, narrow position. Hands strong, curl the toes. And up we go, another inch again. From here, we're going to do that little lift of the leg, short plank 2. One leg comes up, and then it goes down. And then exhale the other leg. And down. Watch your pushing away with your shoulders so you don't have this big kind of space between your shoulder blades. You're holding them nice and strong. Let's go 2 more. Exhale 1. Now you can go down dog here or you can go child's pose. I'm going to lift, drop my heels down. I'm walking my hands out a bit and grabbing the sides of my mat so I don't slip. And I'm just going to paw at the floor. Just stretching the back of that calf line. Again, shoulders away, abs gently drawn in. Push those heels down. And then here, push both heels down if you can. Little tight, lift the heels, bend the knees, and drop deeper into your chest. Feel that opener. Come out of the chest a little bit and press into the chest. Come out a little bit with your shoulders and press in. One more time. Come out a little bit. Exhale, press in. And then come all the way back to feet down on the floor, knees down on the floor, sorry. Reach your hands what feels too far forward, uncurl your toes, and pull your pubic bone all the way forward. Now, if you know you're tight in the lower back, come down to the elbows. So I always like to start at the elbows anyways. Parallel sits bones, relax your glutes, and just press up till you keep your pubic bone down, and you're just feeling awareness in the lower back. right? So it's not a swan. We're not lifting up. We're just allowing that to open and bring it back down. If that feels good and you can press higher without lifting the pubic bone, so the mobility is in that spine, lift up a little higher. If that's not going to happen, stay low. Big breath. We're not really worrying about where those shoulders are and stuff on this first little movement. We're just worrying about getting that movement in our spine. One more time, get that movement in your spine. So wherever you've lifted from, start a little kind of coasting left and right here. Inhale, exhale. So it might be from your elbows, it might be from your hands. Doesn't matter. Wiggle left and right. And then bring that spine all the way back down. Plant your hands strong. You can go from the knees initially, curl the toes under, press up. And from here, we're going to go to pouncing cat. So I can do pouncing cat from my knees, back and forth, or connect those toes and pouncing cat into full plank. Now, if this pouncing cat's feeling good for you, you're going to actually lift a leg and reach away with it. Stretch it away. All right, so I'm lifting one leg as I come straight over my wrists. Let's go for 3. Now, if I'm on my elbows and I'm on my knees, this is what it looks like. Press in, press in. Just one more on each side. And let's go ahead and find that down dog again. Get those feet underneath you. Give a few little poodle wags here. So poodle wags work perfectly with the knees going bent as well. I'm just dropping my hip to one side, dropping my hip to the other, and I feel that sideways movement in my spine. One more big breath. And then go ahead, walk your hands to your feet. In 4, all the way in. 2, bend the knees as you need to. 3 and 4. And then just ragdoll, slowly coming all the way up. Big inhale at the very top. Exhale, hands down, center heart. Roll those shoulders a little bit. I'm going to take my left leg, step it into not really the middle, but pretty close to the middle of that band. My other leg's going back. I'm turning my hips. If I have a hard time with this toe lifted up, I'm going to go kind of a bit more warrior pose. That's okay. And then I come down, and I'm going to grab those tails equally on both sides. And then I'm doing one wrap, so I don't have to death grip with my hands. So from here, I'm going to lunge in, push away. Go slow here. Go slow. Find the leg movement first. Try to get that front leg going to straight. That right here is a really unbalanced position. So try to get there. As you get there, add a row to your elbows. Inhale, exhale. Go nice and slow. 4 more. Look at full range of motion. So go as deep as you can as I fall over and as straight as you can. Go 2 more and go 1. Stay in the deep. Turn your back foot to warrior. Your back hand can just rest on your knee. It's not really going anywhere. You can even let go of it if you want. I'm going to decrease my pull on this hand, and then I'm going to start a little rotation with my elbow. Now, if I can, I'm going to go deeper into my lunge. And when I'm ready, I'm going to push away and row. So deep and press away and row. Inhale, exhale. Let's go 4. Hold that band as strong as you want, you guys. Go 3. And 2. And 1. Come all the way back to the front. Carefully turn your back leg back into position and lower that knee. Uncurl the toes. Push out that band. I'm going to move my foot forward of the band just so I don't stick to it. So you might have to move your whole body forward. Lean into your hip flexor. If this is working for you, one arm, both arms. If you're okay, you can bind. Open the chest. Really big stretches here, really big breaths. One more big breath for me. Slowly let that leg go. Pike your hips back, drop the ball of foot, come down into your hamstring. I like a little point flex here. Inhale, exhale. Both hands to the inside of the front leg. Take that leg all the way around. Hands are nice and strong. Curl the toes. And we're just going to lift into our down dog. Poodle wag here if you want to. And then we're slowly going to walk our hands into our feet. The very end here, we're going to bend, curl, come all the way up to tall. Big breath up. If you want to hold a little ragdoll there for a moment on the inversion, go ahead. And now the opposite leg is going forward. So we've got that opposite leg, put it in the center. Get your leg. So I've got my right leg forward now. I'm in my nice long lunge. I'm going to grab my tails. I like to grab them too long and then wrap once so I don't feel like I've got a death grip with my hands. So nice and strong without the arm position first. Find your balance. Press away and pull up. Back leg as straight as you can get. So wiggle it behind you. Challenge that. Erectus spinae are turned on because we're holding our posture. And as soon as you feel good about that, add your row. Woo! Off balance today. Pull all the way to straight. Like get here and freeze here for a brief moment. Challenge that balance point. Don't just kind of get there and come out of it quickly. Go slow and feel the long straight position and the full bend. Go 2 more for me. Big range of motion. If you're wobbling, don't worry about it. I am too. Hold it halfway down. Warrior pose your back foot. You can let go of this band or just hold it gently. Loosen off your other band and just start the arm pattern first. Just that row of the arm. Find the tension that you like. Deepen into your front knee. And then when you're ready, as you press away, row. Get as deep as you can. Now, if your hand is still resting here, that's okay, but be aware that that's giving you support. So if you remove that hand, you make the balance a little more challenging. Let's go 3 more, guys. Good strong row. Rotate your torso. And 2. And last 1. Bring it halfway down. Spin your back leg. And then slowly bring it down. Go ahead this time, just push that band out of your way and sneak into that hip stretch. Lift that heart. 1 arm, both arms. If you want, you kind of grab into that bind. Find your balance point. Open that chest. So in this, if I flex that back foot, it actually adds more stretch. Couple really big breaths. Roll your shoulders open here, gang. Slowly let that go. Hands go to the front. And you're just going to push back into that hamstring stretch. Point and flex the foot. As you're doing that hamstring stretch, just kind of bring your band closer to you. You're going to use it in a little push-up here. Yay! Both hands to the very front. Take that leg around. And then just press back into your knees. Take your band behind your back. Now, if you don't need the band and you can interlace your hands, don't use the band. I'm just going to put my thumbs right together. And then from here, I'm going to lift up, curl my toes into pins and needles. If this is good enough on my knees and my toes, I'll stay here. If I can press the hands down and push them back a little bit, I will. If I'm still okay, I'm going to sit back on my toes. My last transition, if doable, is to lift the heart in this position. Then the biggest breaths you can are actually super difficult here. Inhale, nose. Exhale, mouth. 2 more. 1 more big breath. And then slowly come out of all of those stretches. Take this band right up to your armpit so you've got equal tails. And then grab part way down. And all you're going to do is kind of put your thumbs into the L's. Your hands are going to go down and trap that. With this exercise, I could be here for my push-ups. Your hands are quite wide, at least as wide as your mat. Your hands could be here going down in 3. I could walk my knees away, pull my pelvis forward a little bit, go 1, 2, 3, up, or I can go into full push-up. So decide where you're going. That band is resistance. Let's go down for 3. Inhale, 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 exhale, push away. Inhale. So if you're not feeling the band tightness, change around the girth of your shoulder area. You're probably reaching with your neck. You should feel that band get looser as you get lower. Inhale, 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 exhale. Last one, I'm struggling. Inhale, 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 exhale. Knees go down and just roll it all the way back. Come up into your knees, grab quite tight and hold that. So imagine you're in the reformer kneeling against your shoulder pads. We're going to do some air push-ups. We're going to press and draw in. So my palms are facing you and I'm just pushing and coming in. So harder Grab really tight by your armpits. Go ahead and form a circle. Bring it together, open it wide. Bring it together, open it wide. If you can still be in pins and needles on those toes, go ahead. Let's go 3 more. And go 2. And last one. Now leave your arms out here. Take your right arm, push it towards the center, and rotate. And bring it back. Left arm, push and rotate. And bring it back. Watch your pelvis isn't going. One more time each way. Push that hand and then rotate. Push it as far as you can and rotate. And release. Throw that band just to the front. Come up into your down dog. Give a little pawing. And then walk your feet to your hands. In 4, 3, bend as you need to. Grab that band on the floor. And vertebrae by vertebrae, peel that up. Beautiful. Take the band around the biggest part of your booty and give it a little tie. If the band's not giving you enough resistance, tie it a little tighter. If you've got a super tight band, if you've got like a heavy band that you're using, I'd suggest going a little lower or looser, should I say. Make sure your tails aren't going to catch underneath your feet as we're going into some of that outside work. So bring that down. Beautiful. Nice and wide. Turn your knees, hips, ankles, toes in slightly. So I'm not this big internal rotation where I'm knocking my knees in, but I'm slightly turned in. And then I'm going to start a little side to side. So you're just going the length of your mat. Just turn yourself so you've got enough space to go the length. And now get a little squat going. Get your arms up like you're going to punch. A little crunch in the abdominals. And just a little punch out. Watch here that you don't start turning your toes out, right? Keep everything turned in. So when you punch, you almost internally, and actually you can internally rotate that knee. You feel that glute rotating. The punch is just optional. It just gets your heart rate up a bit. Honestly, has not a real big deal on it. I want the lower half. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Now stay strong. Scoot twice. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, you don't have to jump, but I do want your knees turned in slightly so you feel the outside of that booty. 1, 2. If you want to add a little hop, go ahead. 4 more. Punch. 3, get low. 2, 1, and walk those legs in. You should feel the outside of your booty. So from here, I'm going to use a wall. I'm going to stand. I'll face you for a second. I'm going to stand with this leg slightly turned out and bent. Hand on the wall. This leg is not turned out. It's straight. From here, I'm going to lift lower. Lift lower. If you want to work harder, you're going to teeter-totter farther down. Don't flex the spine to get there. Hinge at your hips. So if I look down my leg, it is coming straight out from my hip socket. If this is tough, bend the knee. Bend the knee. Yeah. Go 2 more. Woo. And 1. Now pulse it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it all the way down. Sneak that leg out. If you're okay, step farther away. Hinge and go deeper. Leg is reaching straight out from the hip socket. Circles. Again, you can bend the knee here. Shorter lever length, a little less aggressive, right? Longer lever length, harder. Shoulders down, go 3, 2, and 1. Spin the other way. Bend your standing leg. 4, 3, exhale 2, and 1. Come all the way out of that, and we're going to get a stretch right off the bat. I like to use a wall here. You don't have to. I'm going to tag my booty to the wall, cross into 4, and then sink down. So you just need anywhere you can put your bum just slightly against, or hold your hand on the wall. So if I'm using the wall, the lower I dip into the wall, the deeper I can get into that. You can sit on a couch. You can sit on anything for this. We're just looking at focusing on the stretch and not worrying about the balance component. Slowly come out of that. Give those hips a little wiggle. So this leg has had a rest period, but we're going to go right into it. Turn the opposite direction. Foot you're standing on, slightly turned out, slight bend in the knee. Foot that your leg that you're working, hip is forward facing. Straight out from your hip socket, lift lower. Lift. So the farther I hinge over, the more aggressive. That is getting you, bend your knee. My hips are tight. I'm doing this whole sequence in bent knee today. Totally doable. You're still going to feel that booty. Watch if you're doing bent knee, you're not turning this knee up, that you're keeping your shin, your heel, parallel with the height of your knee. Go 2 more. Yeah. 1. Now pulse it up. Let's go 5, 4, breathe. 3, 2, 1. Let that come all the way down. Sneak that last leg out of there. Step out farther, hinge deeper, and start your circles. Watch you're not leaning forward in your chest like you're piking your hips. Nice and slow for 3, 2, straight out from your hip socket, go the other way. For 4, big breaths. 3, squeeze the butt as you push it behind you. 2, and 1, and then teeter-totter all the way out. Slide that band right off. Find your wall. Cross that leg into 4, and sink down. Anyone else really tight? I am super tight in those hips today. Inhale, exhale for me. Oh, look at this nice, lovely posture. Yeah, this is not good. Line everything up. Come down strong. Try not to be all twisty, running away from the stretch. Couple really good cycles of breath. 1 more big breath. Use your hands and gently come out of that. Give a few little wiggles. Come to the front of your mat. While you're there, just untie your band. Give a little sway. We're going to do some passive squats, get some movement back into the hips. And then we're going to do our stand-up, sit-down for about 4. If you don't like that, you'll continue with passive squats. If you know you need to use your hands, once you've got your band undone, throw your band down to the ground. If you don't need it, give it a pull. So let's do 3 passives. Go down 3, really tuck your tailbone under. Right here, I want you to focus on getting your butt down and tucked, because that's what you need to come up. And then stand tall. Let's go again, all the way down, tuck that tailbone right under. The Achilles is getting a little test here as well, especially keeping those heels down. 1 more time. So if that's a nice challenge, you're going to stay here. Otherwise, you're going to put the booty down. We're going to go just 3, and the 4th one will stay down. So get booty down, roll, connect, and come up. Well, that was not pretty. We've got 2 more. Down, I use my hands. Get underneath you, and lift. 1 more time. Nice and low, round, pull that in. Oh, getting there, getting warmer. This time we're going to go down and stay down sitting on our booty. Go down, roll, sit tall into your booty, push your legs out into the corners of your mat. So a little bit of spine twist, we're adding some strap to that. If you know you're tight in the sit position, roll up your mat or sit up, right? Especially if you're kind of ever so slightly slouched, even a little bit, just a little bit, the rotation is hindered. We want to sit tall, and then you can get more rotation, right? Bring your legs in a little tighter. Take that band, equal on tails on both sides, and place that around the feet. So I'm just going to turn for a second. So I've placed it what is too tight. It's tight and my feet are close. Now I'm going to move my feet out a bit so that there's just this little resistance in my band. And then I'm going to only move my ankles. So look at your knees. Don't move them. Turn your ankle in and out. So you're pushing into your baby toe and you're pressing, and then your big toe is touching down, or at least the pad of the inside of the big toe. So it's baby toe, big toes turn to me, and then they fan out. And you might just feel this nice length all the way up the side of your booty. But you're just trying to really work on that ankle strength here with that little inversion, eversion type pattern. So 1 more. Now leave your feet pushing out. If it's too aggressive, lighten your band a bit. Take your hands, wrap them once, drop your shoulders down, sit tall, and just give me a nice strong row. If that's not hard enough, if you've got really light band, you can grab 2 bands. When you do this, pull low. Watch you're not pulling up with your shoulders. Sit tall. Keep your toes so that the baby toe and the big toe, the back ball of foot, is fully on the band. You're not letting your feet roll in. Go 2 more. So there's an awareness of the lower body. Now let's pulse our rows. 5, zipper up. 4, 3, nice. 2, 1, bring it all the way in. Let your toes drop in so your hips have a little release. Cross your band. The hand that's underneath is just going to anchor loosely to your knee. The hand on top is going to wrap, or not, depends on how tight you are. Push into your toes, and now we're going into rotation on the top arm. So start your rotation and bring it back. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, back. Vision cuts the room in half. Chin stays parallel to the floor, and it's an exhale. Because you've got pressure into your feet, it is highly unlikely that you're moving your pelvis. Right? It's hard to move the pelvis when your feet are holding the strap, but just be mindful you're not shortening one leg. Now pull this hand into your rib, not your boob, down here by your rib or your hip. From there, lock it, and now just move the rib cage. This is a tough one. Watch you're not dropping your chin and trying to tuck, right? Tall. 2 more. 1 more. All the way back. Switch that cross, so my bottom hand holds loosely. My top hand can rotate. Sit tall, push out on those toes a bit, and add your rotation. Remember, that hand is pulling in to more of the hip, rib position versus the rib cage only. Cut the room in half with your vision. Exhale to rotate, inhale to return. When you find that rotation, anchor your hand gently on your rib and stay there, or should I say your hip. Stay there for a brief moment. Now go ahead, rotate, stay there, period, stay there, and pulse. It's small. 5, 4, push out with those feet. 3, 2, 1, and come out of that. Oh, bring your feet in tight and give them a little paddle. So from here, I'm just holding on. I'm going to wrap once. I'm at the very end, okay, really loose. I'm going to wrap once. My feet are in parallel. I'm going to scoop my abs. Now, if I need more resistance or more love, I'll add another wrap. All right, so the less, the harder. The less, the harder on this one. I'm going to scoop and go back. Inhale to come tall. Now, if my back doesn't like that, I'm going to bend my knees and scoop here. In fact, I'm going to start here. My lower back and my hips are tight today, and I'm seeing that already. So I'm just going to be nice to myself and bend my knees. If you don't need to bend your knees, you can keep them straight. I'm going bent. Go 2 more. Tuck your tailbone, roll off your sits. Right here in this position, watch you're not chin jetting and throwing it into your neckline. Soften. And then come to tall. 1 more time. And come to tall. Now straighten the legs because we're going to roll all the way down. So make sure you have room behind you. Scoop. If you need to, bend the knees. It is fine to have them bent. I'm going to go all the way down, vertebrae by vertebrae. My head touches. If I'm not too tight, my legs can stay straight. If I'm a little tight, I'm going to bend my knees, use my hands a bit to assist me to come to tall. And then maybe I can straighten again. So I'm going to scoop down. If you can keep your legs straight the whole time for roll-ups, go ahead. Head touches. Inhale, cervical nod. Exhale, sit tall. 1 more time. Scoop. Remember, your knees can be bent. All the way down. Inhale, cervical nod, big breath out. And you're going to fold all the way forward now. Let your band go totally loose, forward flexion. Don't reach, bend your elbows and fold your spine. Couple really big breaths into the back here, you guys. Bend your knees if you need to. Start at your tailbone, peel up. Put the band just over your waistline, heels together, toes apart, and we're just going to do a couple diamond rollbacks. Lisa has a friend. Exhale, scoop as you roll back. You're on the ground. Puppy wants attention. Inhale, pull your head towards your heels. Move your butt cheeks. Get down in there a bit. And then peel to tall. Let's go again. Scoop the abdominals as you go back. Inhale, come around the corner. Give a little pull. And lengthen to tall. 1 last time. Scoop. Feel that lower back getting stretched. Pull it all the way around. Take your hands, wrap them in between your legs and around your feet. Move your insulation out of the way and find your diamond roll back hold. So if the toes are a little tight, great place to play with them if you've got long enough arms. Really big inhale, exhale. Try and take your lumbar spine and sacrum vertical to the earth and fold forward in flexion between the thoracic and the neckline. So rib cage and neckline, right? And then a big breaths into your back. Forward breathing one more time. And start at your tailbone. Heel to tall. Beautiful. Straighten out the legs or bent and use that to roll yourself down carefully. If you're a headrest person, go ahead and grab that. And we're going to start with a little arm work, with a little leg work, and then we're going to change the legs. Take your hands, hold them about shoulder width or a little wider, and then you can pull it open a little bit if you want some resistance. From here, find supported spine, and we're going to knee fold into tabletop. One leg up, other leg up. Watch here, you're not pulling them in. See how my tailbone's lifted? I'm in neutral or slightly supported. My legs are slightly apart, and I'm just going to start with the legs. So remember, no movement between ribs and hips. If you're not sure you're not keeping this stable, get rid of the band and just hold rib hip. That's your priority. The arms are just an added bonus for intensity. So as I pull my band apart, I'm going to go over my head slightly. All right, exhale over, inhale in. Working for you, you know you can go to the straight leg option. How far that leg goes really depends on your rib-hip connection. Keep it nice and strong. I like to point and flex. I get really crampy feet, so I point and flex just to keep my foot moving, and then I find I cramp less. Now hold it on the in, arms up, knees up. I'm going to fold down for 4 counts. 4, 3 really slow, 2, and 1. Don't let your ribs pop. Up, 2, 3. Working for you, add the arms. 4, 3, pull the band apart a bit, 2, 1, and in, 2, 3. Working, you go straight leg, right? I have my legs a little bit farther apart so that they're kind of working independently, and then I'm pulling in. If you can touch the hands down above your head as you open, try and get your knuckles kind of touching at the same time. And same thing, if you can touch the heels at the same time. Be mindful as one side touching down before the other. If you can't get it down because you're arching, you're losing your connection, don't worry about it. Right? Just think of a tight knot, nice strong zipper. Bring it all the way in and release those legs down. Let's get a little windshield washer going here, you guys. So my hips are super warm now. I'm just going to windshield washer from left to right. And then I am going to get a QL stretch. I'm going to go deeper, get that lower back stretched out. Stretch out right leg, doesn't have to be. I'm standing on my right, I'm bringing my left up. Band is just in my waistband, opposite hand on the knee, roll it over, look over the opposite direction. Now, if you're in this position and you're wanting more twist or a bit more hamstring, you can untwist, put the band, and if it's a really loose band, double it up, over the foot, grab it where the arm is straight, pull up and over, and go into a little bit of flamenco 2. So I've got that band helping me with that rotation. If I don't want to use it, I don't need to, right? Try and relax your bottom butt cheek, and then look in opposition to the direction of the foot that's up across your body. Big breaths here, guys. One more breath. I'm going to bend the knee to de-rotate. Spine is totally crooked, that's okay, but straighten it out before you do the other leg. One leg up. Leg on the floor can be bent or straight. Opposite hand goes over. This is my first stretch, right? Finding that nice crossover. If that feels good and I want more, I can put my foot in the band, grab fairly high up with the opposite hand, pull into the stretch, and then over I go. Tendency to protect the back is to squeeze the butt cheek. We want to allow the rotation in the back. If it's too aggressive, just decrease the rotation, but try not to squeeze your butt. My palm on my reaching arm is up. So my shoulder is rotated open in the socket as I look through to that hand if I can get that much neck rotation. And then really big breaths, you guys. Bend that knee and slowly derotate. Slip that foot out of there. And then we're going to grab behind the knees to help us roll up. Take that band. And now find, if you don't cramp, you can put pointed toes into this. I get crampy. I'm going to go ball of foot. And then how much resistance? Well, we're going to slowly work into teaser so you can decide how much resistance you need. So knees can be bent or straight. I'm going to roll down, and the legs are going to come up with me. From here, I'm going to wrap loose and anchor my elbows. Anchor them. So with my feet and knees right together, I'm going to lower and lift. So again, you could be in pointed toes in the band. That would be more traditional. I'm not. I'm crampy. I'm just going to press down. My elbows are anchored. Now, as I press down, as my legs go away, I'm going to roll into a hundreds position right here. And then I'm going to bring my elbows back down. Now, if that's too much, I'll roll with a bent knee to here. And then maybe keep my knees bent the whole time. As I do this, you know where it's going, right? We're going to bring more and more of the spine off each time. So go to where you feel comfortable. Right here, I'm going to lift my elbows and find my teaser. I'm going to start with a bent knee teaser. Inhale here, scoop the abdominals, and roll it back down. Legs come up. I'm going to press, and if it's okay, legs stay straight. If I'm still okay, I reach that band out to the sides. And then legs stay straight as they reach away, and you roll down. You can decide where you're going. We have 5 more of whatever you chose. Roll it up. Give a little press. Oh, man, don't watch me for an example today, you guys. And then scoop and roll down. Is not pretty movement. Roll it up and press. And scoop the abdominals. Remember at the top of the teaser, we're trying to keep the lumbar and sacrum in a small supported spine, a little bit of flexion, and think a little more lengthened in your upper torso. When you roll, really watch you're not pulling to one side. So if you were straight on your mat and now suddenly you're slightly crooked, whatever direction you're pulling to, you're letting go of the opposite side. I can't see that on the video, right? Unless you're kind of straight on to me with your feet. And then roll it down. Stay in the down, bend those knees, bring that band off, put it over your hips. We're going to do a reset of tabletop. Roll it up. Fingers either point to your booty or they point out to the side, whatever works for you. Get your heels in close to your bum. Exhale, let's press those hips up. So you notice my heels are really tucked under. Try to look at yourself a little bit to get your heels underneath your knees. If this is hard on your shoulders, rotate your hands out to the side. Vision goes up. And then bring it down. So we're warming up that booty a bit more. Not like we haven't already got it, but we're going to get it a bit more in a 4-point stance position. Exhale. So we're not going to do our traditional bridging today. Let's do one more. Stay up here. Hold it. Squeeze the glutes. Holding 5, 4. See if you can lift those hips quite high. It's a big stretch on the shoulders. 3, 2, and 1. Booty comes down carefully. And then I'm just going to relax those shoulders out. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and find ourselves in the front position. We're going to come back to our hamstrings. If this is in the way, go ahead and get rid of it. If your lower back is really tight, right, that pad underneath hips and pubic bone right here is going to take out a little bit of that back pressure on a couple of these movements if you want. So please go ahead and choose that. So here I'm going to leave that band in the small of my back for double leg kick. My legs are open as comfortable, but I'm going to start with swan. So I lied. My legs are in lateral rotation at the corners of your mat. Hands are down, elbows are down, fingers are spread out. My thumbs are kind of pointing to my shoulders. I'm going to take that mic off so I'm not too muffled. Ooh, that was probably a loud clip. Sorry, guys. Push the marble with your nose, draw your abs in, and come up connected, nice and strong. Now, if your back is like, no, I need to do a little of the reverse loose position first. Go ahead and bring it down. So if you need some of those floppies first, go ahead. Push the marble, draw those abs in, shoulders down and away. So watch in this position, your elbows aren't going out to the side, your fingers aren't pointing in and it's turned into a push-up. My fingers are slightly pointing out so I can pull my shoulders into my back pockets and then lengthen down. Now, if glider 2 is in your practice, go ahead. We're going to glide up, look one direction, opposite heel into the tush. Watch your hamstrings don't count. And bring it all the way down. Push that marble, look the opposite direction, and up we come. Listen to what your body... Lisa, that is hilarious. Every time you go down, it's like, ping! Come all the way. Sorry, that's delightful. And then bring it all the way back. So push into child's pose, whatever recovery feels good for you. Okay, now Lisa's running around her room trying to catch her dog to kick him out of the room. Couple little breaths here. Wiggle from left to right. Let's see who won. Master or dog? Little breaths there, you guys. And then come all the way up slowly. Relax those shoulders. We're going right back down into our double leg kick. So come all the way down. Take that band into the small of the back. Now, if you don't need the band, you'll interlace the fingers, fold them into the small of the back, and let your elbows drop. That may or may not be an option. If you're feeling a bit tight, you're going to hold the band wherever it feels good, that you can get your wings, your arms like wings, down. All right? You want to be able to get them down. Now, turn one cheek, have a little bit of lateral rotation, pull your abs in, open as comfortable, not as wide as the mat. Flex your foot and pump your heels into your bum for 3. 1, 2, 3. Now point your toes, extend the legs fully, squeeze the butt, and reach the arms in the same movement as the legs, and then turn so you're in full swan here, all right, or extension. Don't look up, lift with the breastbone. Pull the hands into the small of the back, go lazy on the shoulders and pump. 1, 2, 3. Exhale out. Inhale, 3 pumps. Again, pump. 1, 2, 3, and reach. Turn your cheek the opposite direction each time. Denise, tuck your chin in a little bit, and let's pump. 1, 2, 3, and reach. Remember, don't look up, guys. Look long. One last time. Pump. 1, 2, 3. Keep the reach. Keep the reach. Lower the legs. Keep the lift in the heart. Now, if you're seeing the front of your room, it's because you have an amazing extension, not that you're not doing this with your neck, right? I can't see the front of my room, and I'm going to lower and lift my arms. I'm drawing my abs up off the floor theoretically. Don't push down into your belly. If this is tight, widen your hands on the band. Let's go 4 more. Stay lifted. 3. Just the legs. Just the arms. 2 and 1. And bring that all the way down. Turn your cheek. Let your hands lie long and just wiggle your booty from left to right. So we're going to do a little bit of neck movement. Reach your arms right out from the sides of your body. Watch your shoulders aren't lifted. They're down and away. Take your ear and try and turn your cheek all the way to the point that you've got it plugged into the floor and that the sound of my voice is muffled from your turn. Now, if that's hard on your shoulders, bring your hands farther down. All I've done is turn my cheek into a stretch. If I can't get my ear completely muffled by the floor, I'm going to lower my arms. You're trying to get a really good rotation in your neck. If you're able to reach the arms out into iron cross, go ahead. And just hold on to this. We're just looking for rotation in our neckline. There's no magic to it. You'll probably find that you're tightening your tummy to fight against this a bit. See if you can let your tummy relax a bit. Keep a bit of a zipper, but don't death grip it. Really big breaths. 1 more big breath. And then gently bring your head off and you're turning the other direction. So I went to my smart side. This is my tighter side. I'm going to start with my hands down, really turn my neckline so my ear plugs into the floor. And already there's a difference between those two. Pull your shoulders away gently from your ears. And if you're okay, you'll slowly bring your arms into iron cross, walk them out as far as you can, and really muffle the ear. Watch you're not tucking your chin in. Keep your chin what would be parallel to the length of the shoulder girdle if your arms are reaching out. And then a couple really big breaths here. 2 more. 1 more breath. Bring your hands into your side, turn your cheek back into neutral, push yourself all the way back, hinge into that nice low position, and give your neck a little wiggle here. So that's actually a huge stretch in the neckline, right? Holding that just side position, you should feel like you've got a bit more length happening in the sides of your neck. Give a couple little yeses. You were just holding in a no, so give a couple yeses here. And we're going to do a little thigh stretch. Now, if you have any issues in your knees, this one's a bit contraindicated for serious knee issues. Or what you can do is kneel on a pad if it's not too bad. Band is absolutely optional. I'm going to hold it wide and I'm going to pull it as I go back. To make it harder, I'll pull it and go over my head. Optional, right? First position is rib hip. So I got a little tuck in my tailbone. I'm not death gripping, but we are getting the glutes and hamstrings supporting the quad. So they are tight. Keep your chin slightly tucked in. And just imagine I'm pushing you in the sternum bone and you're leaning back. So I'm not sitting, I'm rib hipping, and I'm feeling this pull in my quad. And then slowly I'm going to come back up. So if you feel any massive pull down into the knee joint itself, may not be a happy position for you, maybe don't do it. Right? So scoop, you'll feel a pull, but if you feel it kind of an uncomfortable one more than the other, probably not a good indication. So as I go back here, if I'm okay, I'm going to open the band a bit. I'm holding it loose. I'm going to lift my heart. Still okay? I might slowly bring my arms over my head. And then I'm very slowly going to come back into position. So don't kind of throw the arms there quickly. Those arms are heavy. Scoop, lean back with the breastbone, drop the shoulders, exhale. If it feels okay, get a little more length with the upper torso. Inhale, open. Exhale, carefully bring it back up. Support your back, you guys. This is a tough one on the back. That's why I'm going into posterior tilt, right? Supported spine. One last time. Roll back with the quad. Arms are optional. Find that length. Slowly, slowly come up. Oh, that's a nasty. That's a nasty. Give some wiggles there. Hamstrings. Told you we were coming back to them. We're doing a brief set. Tie that about as strong, about the size of your booty around your waist. If it's a hard band, go looser. If it's a looser band, you can go tighter. Wiggle it down so that it's now on your ankles. From here, I'm not going to worry about spreading my legs out to find the band loose. I'm going to keep my legs in tight. Curl both toes and then decide what foot you're starting with. I'm going to start with my right leg up. So I'm going to take my right leg around my foot. My left one is around my ankle. Okay? If you're not okay on the wrists, go to a couch and slide your elbows on the ottoman. From here, I'm going to bring one leg up. So this is where I will tighten my band. So I've gone from wide, the leg is up. Push away with your hands. And from here, I'm just going to kick up. Try not to move rib hip. If you're able to, take off your opposite hand to the leg in the band, put it on rib hip, and as you press that heel to the sky, don't let yourself arch. Find the glute and hamstring tightening. Press. Beautiful. Now, if that's working, I'm going to go in opposition with my arm. Leg goes up and the arm goes out. Contralateral, the brain's sort of going, get it thinking. Go two more. And go one. Put the hand back down, pulse the leg up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten the leg almost out. So I'm not jammed, almost out. Little movement up and down. Oh, there it is. For 5, 4, go slow. 3, Lisa's in a race. 2, yeah, I saw you. 1, now pulse up. 5, 4, hello. 3, 2, 1. Well, that's just ugly. Bring that in. Unfold the toes, give them a little rattle, come off those wrists. We do have the other leg to do, right? Lots of stability going on here, you guys. You could stay, if your wrists are like, you know what, there's just too much stability happening. You can do the second side standing with your hands on the wall, right? Same positioning, you're off your wrists. And because you're not leaning forward, gravity's off the core. Totally optional. Wrap your opposite foot around the one ankle, one foot. And then bring your foot off and allow that to give you some time to set. Now I'm curling my toes under. That's an anchor. Harder would be with my foot relaxed, right? Versus my toes curled. I'm toes curled. Push away, find power, lift that leg off. Then from there, you're not going to quite touch the ground. You're going to push up from the ground. Notice how your knee wants to go into a little turnout. Keep it neutral. Also notice how your back wants to arch. Ribs connected. Now, if you can, off comes that hand to the opposite rib hip. When you press up, hold and down. Hold and down. Don't just press it there and run away from it. Hold it. Now pulse it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now let's do that set again. But this time, if you're able to, opposite arm reaches. Nice and slow. Let's go 4. Lots going on here, guys. 3. Exhale, 2. Woo. And 1. Bring that hand down. Straighten out that leg almost to straight. Slight bend. Lift. Lower. Nice and slow. I'm sinking in my shoulders. Press away. I'm also noticing I'm pushing into my hip. Stay straight up on this hip, guys. Don't lean out on that booty. I'm doing a lot of shit today, aren't I? Go 1 more. Pulse it up. 5, 4, 3, 2. That's nasty. Bring that leg out of there. Oh. Sit back for a little recovery. Bring your band forward. Go ahead and just untie that band. And we're going to get some deep hamstring stretches. We're going to lie down on our backs here, guys. So turn your legs so you're in long sit. Headrest if you want to. Curl yourself down. Find yourself comfy. Now, I've got a band that has a fair amount of resistance, so I'm not going to double it up. You can, if you've got a band with a lot of elasticity, double it up so there's a little less. Throw that band around the arch of your foot. Straighten that to the leg or to the sky. Now, if the hips are tight and the back is tight, keep this knee bent. If you can, it's going to straighten. That already is a little active on the back, so be careful. Roll up. Grab your band, keep this knee straight. So it might be out there, That's why we use the band for length. And then roll down, keep your arms straight, and pull that leg in towards you for a stretch. So if you're pulling it in, your elbows are bending massive amounts, reach higher up on your band. So your arms are just kind of locked, your shoulders are dropped down. From here, as long as you don't lose the band, point and flex the foot. This leg will want to go off to the side to cheat a bit on the outside of the body. Bring it to the midline or even slightly over the midline for a stretch. Point and flex that foot. You're good. Then grab it with the same hand as foot. Pull it into the stretch and then take it way off to the side. If this is hard on the knee, bend it a bit or put a ball or a block underneath your knee. Your other arm can reach in opposition and your pelvis is going to lift a little bit. Don't fight it. We're not worrying about keeping pelvis still. We're actually kind of trying to find the stretch, right? So just go ahead and let your pelvis open up. Couple really big breaths. Point and flex into the foot. Gives you a little more stretch going on there. Breathe as you go. And then bend the knee to bring it back in. Grab it with the same hand as foot. Bring it up for the stretch. And I kind of move my bum over to the side a bit. And then I pull it up and over we go. Rotate in opposition. If this is too aggressive, bend the knee, right? Try and look in opposition, relax the butt cheek. So we did this stretch already, but we didn't do it with the band. If you can grab the foot, if you got the range of motion to grab the foot, just grab your foot. Again, bottom butt cheek is relaxed. Let it go. Feel it. Give it a little hit. It's not fighting your stretch. You're letting it go. One more big breath. Now I like to bend this knee to bring myself back to neutral. Pelvis is totally all over the place. Don't worry about it. Just bring it back to somewhat straight. Let's bring up the other leg. You're going to roll up and get that band around. You've doubled it so you're not over pulling the band. Bent knee or straight leg on the bottom, roll up, grab as high as you physically can, and then roll down. Pull that leg in. If you're bending your elbows aggressively, reach higher up. You don't want to be yanking with your shoulders. You just kind of want to use gravity to just sort of let that fold towards you. If you have the flexibility again, you don't have to use the band, right? You can grab that foot. If you're okay with it, you're going to point and flex the foot. Please make sure the band doesn't flip off the ball of your foot and snap you in the face. Draw the toe down towards you, push the toes to the sky. So you're moving through that ankle joint nice and slowly here. Then grab it with the same hand as foot, pull up for the stretch, let it go over. Right here, if that's a hard position, your hips gripping, you can put a ball or something anywhere underneath this leg as you slowly lower it. Even a pillow's quite nice. If I flex my foot, it'll get a little more adduction there. And breathe. Couple really good inhales, exhales for me, you guys. Here again, you can always point and flex the foot. It's always going to change the dynamics of the stretch. Cycle your breath, relax your shoulders. Bend the knee and slowly bring that back up to center. Take it to the sky. Same hand, opposite hand as foot grabs. Pull in for the stretch. On this one, if you want bent knee, go ahead. Take it all the way as far as you can over. If you don't need the band, you can just grab that foot and then rotate. Again, this is where the bottom butt cheek fights it. So kind of pat your buddy. Make sure she's loose there. And then rotate in opposition. Inhale, come out of the rotation slightly. And then when you exhale, think of melting deeper into your stretch. So the exhale allows you to deepen into your stretches. Again, not to the point your body's fighting it, right? We don't want to go into stretch reflex. One more big breath. And then bend that knee, slowly derotate. You can take that band off and just toss it off to the side. Bring yourself into center, straighten the legs, and just paddle. Just give it a nice little paddle. Let everything wiggle and jiggle. Fold one leg, fold the other. Roll it up as you're ready. Bring the feet around. We're going to finish with a little down dog. Hamstrings should feel nice and open. I'm going to grab the mat so I can get a little bit more push. Come up. And then I'm just going to paddle my feet a bit. Shoulders away from your ears, guys. Stretch those toes. We've done lots of movement through those toes today. Go ahead, leave the heel down. Press a little deeper. Again, if the heel doesn't go down, lift the heels, bend the knees. Walk your hands to your feet in 4. Nice and powerful. Don't go to the heel of your hand. To your fingertips. More heel of the hand as you walk in, which means bend the knees if you need to. Heel toe out. Find yourself in a supported ragdoll or a full ragdoll. Look through your legs so that your neck is in a fully inversion position. It's just relaxed. Let it dangle there without any gravity against it, gravity pulling it away, but not fighting you. And slowly peel it up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Oh, roll those shoulders, give everything a little wiggle. Big breath up, you guys. Inhale as we come up, lift the heart. Hands down, center heart. Let's go the other direction just for one. Open it up, bring it all the way around. And we are done.